Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. Got asked to tie something that floats and is a bit dirty for the British stillwater scene, so come up with a foam daddy beetle. You can pull this, you can throw it into a breeze, let it sit there. It will certainly get the attention of fish that are looking up and looking to nail terrestrials. Let's get stuck right into it. So kicking off proceedings folks, got some orange uni 6.0 and a long shank 10 barbless in the vise. Just getting some turns down, not going to go all the way to the bend on this. Want to be able to grab onto the back of this hook to remove it from a fish's mouth if required. So just going past the point and then stopping really is what you're going to do here, and then chop away your excess. Really easy fly to tie, very few materials, and again it's not one for a magazine cover, so yeah, a nice starter pattern that will hopefully get a few fish. So nice and simple folks, grab yourself some Booby cord. This is 7mm in the black. I've cut it in half and just catching it on at this point, just a little bit over the back of the hook, just to give a little bit of impression of almost a tail in some senses. Just tidying this up a little bit came off. Just make sure it stays on top and get some good turns in and round about. And you probably want to get super glue this in place as well, as you can see. Obviously it's moving around a little bit at this point, just secure it in and you'll be good to go. At this point folks, catching on, it's a long cock hackle just off an old cape. Just catch it on as much as you want really, just make sure it's nice and secure and fold it away at the back for safekeeping and cut away any bits that you don't want. Once you're done with that, you can tidy up and come back to the back. Okay folks, so at this point what I've done is I've taken some brown gold glister and a mix of Hare's ear, coyote and beaver and mixed it together. I wanted quite a leggy, sparkly type dubbing, so basically just got some little pinches of this and mixed it together in my hands basically, so nothing too fancy, and really just want something with a bit of guard hair in it and a bit of sparkle. Just apply this as you feel necessary. You don't need tons and tons, you want it to have a nice balance to it, and just wrap this forward. Leave yourself a few mil at the front, but yeah, just keep a nice balance to this. We'll be taking the dubbing brush through it as well, so it doesn't need to be absolutely neat and uniform. Okay, and when you get to this point you can bring your hackle up, totally up to you how close you want these turns together, all that sort of stuff, depends on the fibre you're using. Just make it work for yourself, and again it doesn't need to be this type of hackle, you could use a hen, definitely still work. Bring it to the front, as I said, leave a few mil at the front, catch this in nice and tight, fold everything back and then just tidy up as appropriate. And then at this point just going to come back in with a little bit more of our dubbing mix, just giving that sort of thoraxy front section to the what would be fly, so a little bit looser, a little bit more of a ball shape just at the front, but don't go over the top, and then catch this in, tidy up once you're happy with it. Okay, almost there folks. Create a little bit of a space on the top where possible, bring your foam piece over the top and catch this in with some nice tight turns. Make sure you've got it in a place that you're happy with it. As you can see, I'm readjusting because I wasn't happy with how it's sitting, and that's totally fine. Yep, catch this in nice and tight, brush everything back out the way that you need out the way, and then you can snip away this foam. You want to get this nice and short, but obviously still have enough to catch in. And at this point folks, once you've trimmed that down, form your head, catching in that bit of foam that you've trimmed down. Good size head on this, you want to get a bit of colour on it as well, nice targeting point for the fish, so don't be shy with it, just get your wraps in. And once you're happy with what you've got, you can add a little bit of super glue to your thread, get some turns down, and then whip finish over the top of this. Then entirely optional, but would recommend taking your dubbing brush or toothbrush or whatever over the underside of this fly, give it a good roughing up, pulling some of that dubbing out into the hackle. And there you have it, folks, a late season floating dry fly effectively that the fish will definitely come up and take a look at. Chuck this across a nice breeze, a bit of a ripple in the water, let it sit, give it a couple of pulls, it'll get a reaction. As always, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Until next time, cheers.